Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. If this is your first time on this channel, please leave a comment so that I can personally welcome you into our success family. And today we're going to be talking about the easy way to get approved for business credit cards. So if you guys have been following me since the start of this channel in January of 2024, you have seen me do my self-credit repair, share that information with you to also help you improve your credit. And then you've seen me go on to start a new business, talk about business credit, talk about net 30s. And now in the last couple of weeks, I have been applying for business credit cards, which if you're watching this video, you may have seen some of them, or I may have put them out before releasing this video. But the reason I am making this is because I want to show people the easy way to get approved for business credit cards in 2024. And I think one of the main turnoffs for the average consumer is that they think that they have to have this huge corporation or huge business in order for them to get business credit cards. And what I've learned is that business credit cards are actually for the average person, or even the person that has a side hustle, or the person that's doing something very, very simple. So I just wanted to make this video so I can show you the easy way to get approved for business credit cards, even if you don't think that you have a business, and exactly talk about what a business is, what the advantages of having a business credit card would provide you, and also do a sample of what an application looks like. So just to give you a little bit of background, 17 months ago, it was October, I believe, of 2022, I had a 426 credit score. My credit score was almost the worst that you could possibly get. In that time, I improved my credit score to date because I've been applying for stuff. I'm at like a 750-ish. It's been fluctuating because every time I apply for new cards, it brings my score down. But then I bring it back up, and then I've been applying for more cards that will suit my business needs. So I say all that to say I'm not speaking from a place where I've done this, where like I've done this like years ago, and it's not relatable to the average person trying to get started. I'm saying this as someone who's doing this in real time, and it's documented. So you can take a look and you can see everything that I've done in real time, and you can do the exact same things, because I believe when you get examples of that type of stuff, it becomes more believable for the average person. And all of my videos are here to just give you insight on how you can do these things and how you can benefit from these things that we didn't know about, or maybe we weren't aware of, and that we just didn't have the privilege of having access to. So with the introduction over, I'm going to get into the easy way that you can get approved for business credit cards. We're going to start with running a business. So you probably don't know it, but you're running a business right now. If you're doing anything currently where you get money besides a W-2, so if you work a job, you get a W-2, you're getting that from your employer. If you do anything else to make money, whether you're doing hair, whether you're cutting grass, whether you're cleaning up trash, whether you're a photographer, whether you're a yoga instructor, if you're selling stuff on eBay every once in a while, if you're selling stuff on Amazon, Etsy, if you're selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace, you would be considered a business. Okay? So anything that you're doing where you're making money outside of a W-2 and getting that from your job, you are a business. And I want to talk about the different types of businesses. And that's why for this section, it's you're running a business without knowing it. Again, anything you do where you make money is a business. So I'm going to talk about a sole proprietor, because that's going to be the one that I think most people will actually use. As a sole proprietor, you can apply for business credit cards without actually incorporating your business. So a sole proprietor, also known as a sole tradeship, individual entrepreneurship, or proprietorship, is a type of enterprise owned and run by one person in which there is no legal distinction between the owner and the business entity. So if you are doing something where you're making money right now, technically you are a sole proprietor. The only thing is that you have not made the legal distinction between yourself and this business. That's it. So what you'll notice is when we look at credit card applications, there is a section designated for sole proprietors. So the funny part is, like with that section there, it basically explicitly tells you these business credit cards are made for the average everyday person. They're not just made for, again, you would think business, corporation, blah, blah, blah. They're not, they're made for the average everyday person who just has a side hustle, something small. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could be a Uber driver. It could be a Lyft driver. I'm just giving you examples. So an LLC. An LLC, which means its members are not personally liable for the company's debts, and that's the difference between a sole proprietor and an LLC. An LLC is a limited liability company. So it just means that the one person in the LLC is not responsible for the company's debts. LLCs are taxed on a pass-through basis. All profits and losses are filed through the member's personal tax return. Okay? So the main thing about an LLC is that, or the difference between an LLC and a sole proprietor, is that you've legally made the distinction on paper that this is a business and it limits the liability that you have for debt. That's it. That's the difference between an LLC and a sole proprietor. Other than that, they're basically the exact same. This is just for tax purposes and distinctions. You're saying that I'm myself, this is my business, and we are separate entities. We are not one in the same. So that's all it is. Now, when you have a C Corp, me personally, I like to start corporations. I think corporations get you as far from being liable as possible when it comes to having a business. And I prefer corporations. I would say you should stick with LLCs depending on the type of business that you're doing. Like real estate, you should stick with an LLC. There's tax reasons. And then for a corporation, if you're making over a certain amount of money, it may be beneficial for you. All these things are contingent upon how you file taxes. Okay, but C Corps are separately taxable entities. They file a corporate tax return that is Form 1120 and pay taxes at the corporate level. They also face the possibility of double taxation if corporate income is distributed to business owners as dividends, which are considered personal taxable income. So if you don't have a corporation, this won't apply to you. And depending on where you are in your business journey, this probably isn't going to be applicable at this time. Maybe in the future, but right now, probably not. S corporations are corporations that elect to pass corporate income losses, deductions, and credit through to their shareholders for federal tax purposes. So that's the main difference between a C Corp and an S Corp. Whether or not you're going to be passing income losses, deductions, and credits through to your shareholders for federal tax purposes. So if you're not going to have shareholders, if you're not going to have a corporation that goes public and it's on the stock market, then maybe, S Corp isn't for you necessarily at this point. Maybe in the future it will be, but those are usually for your larger corporations. And right now, all we're talking about is the benefit for business credit cards and how it can help you personally. But I do think that it's important to understand the distinction between all of these things, just so you understand where you fall or where you would like to fall. I believe most of you guys will fall into sole proprietor or LLC at the beginning. And I think maybe later on, as time goes on and your company grows, you might possibly want to go to a corporation depending on your taxes. And that's it. We're going to stop right there because I feel like any other information will just be an overload and it will be too much for what we're trying to do. And it'll take away from the point because we're focusing on the credit cards right now. Okay. So I want to talk about the business credit card advantages and how this can help you personally. So one of the things that I like about business credit cards more than anything else, they do not report to your personal credit bureaus. Now, I'm going to say this with an asterisk because there are business credit cards that do report to your personal credit. A majority of them don't, but I want to give an example like Capital One Spark Card, it reports to your personal credit. Barclays has a business credit card that does report to your personal credit. I want to make that disclaimer to get that out the way first, just so that you're aware. Always do your research so you know which ones report to personal credit and which ones do not. Now, why is that important? Most business credit cards do not report to credit bureaus unless you default on your loan. So for business credit cards, as you know, or maybe you haven't know because this is your first time watching my videos, if you want to get the most out of business credit cards, you need to personally guarantee them. So that means you need to have a good to excellent credit score, and you're just simply saying with a personal guarantee, if there is a default on this line, if there's not a payment made, I will personally be liable for the debt. And the reason why you're doing that is so you can't just start a business, charge up a credit card, say, it's not my responsibility, and then just run off and never pay it. The personal guarantee just ensures that someone is liable for the debt if you default. But if we're using these responsibly as we should, this should never be a problem. And of course, if you need to worry about repairing your credit in order to do this, I have plenty of videos that you can watch on repairing your personal credit. And again, I've personally built business credit while my credit was bad. I found ways to use it to my advantage with no PG, business credit cards, and store cards. There aren't very many, I'll admit, but if you can be creative, you can find ways to do it. I have found ways. It just depends on how bad you want it. Everything is really just up to you as a person and what you're willing to learn to do. So anyway, I say all that to say, let's say you have like for me, when I built my business credit, I started using my business credit cards to buy inventory for Amazon that then I would resell and I would make money. That was the first way I used business credit. So when you have a business credit card, it doesn't report to your personal credit. So let's say that you have a business credit card and you want to spend $5,000 on inventory, but your business credit card has a $10,000 limit. You're using 50% utilization. If you understand personal credit and how that works, 50% of your limit being used would make your credit score drop, your personal credit score, if you were using a personal credit card. If you're using a business credit card now, no one will see that on the personal side. So you can use that credit card to buy inventory, create cash flow, and then, of course, pay it down, right? So then you can use this without actually hurting your personal credit. That's one of the biggest advantages of having a business credit card. And you don't necessarily have to use it for that. For example, I had a Sam's Club store card with a $20,000 limit. No personal guarantee. I got it just from building business credit. Now, it took me some time to get it because I had to figure out exactly what the requirements were. It took some time. But when I got it, everything on Walmart.com I could put on that card. Everything on SamsClub.com I could put on that card. There's so many things that you can get from Sam's Club and Walmart, and that's a no PG card, right? So just for people who are probably watching this, if your credit is bad, you can still do this. You just have to get creative, and you'll find there are store cards from Home Depot, for Lowe's, for Floor and Decor. If you're into maybe like real estate, or there is things that you could get where you could get specific items from specific stores and you can use it to make money. You could buy vending machines on Sam's Club, start a vending machine business. You could start a car washing business by getting some of the equipment. Again, this is all on Sam's Club or Walmart. There's almost nothing that you can't get on there. Of course, you have to pay this money back. So use it responsibly and come up with a plan where you know worst case scenario, you can pay it back. That's all you have to do. Another advantage of having business credit cards is a higher limit. So I'm going to give you another example. I just went to get the Sam's Club Business MasterCard, but this time personally guarantee it for my new business. Before I went to get that credit card, I checked the personal side first to see if I was pre-approved. As I've been noticing, if I get pre-approved for the personal card, I usually can get the business credit card. So when I looked at the personal credit card for Sam's Club, the limit that I got was $2,500. I found that weird because when I didn't even personally guarantee it, I got a $8,000 limit on the Sam's Club store card at the beginning, and I raised it to $20,000. So I just kept thinking, like, man, when I did this as a business, they gave me more when I didn't even put my actual credit on the line, and I have almost an 800 score, and they only gave me 2,500 with no personal guarantee, which means they don't know what I could do with this limit. They gave me 8,000 to start. So that just goes to tell you right there that if you have a business, you will get 4 times the amount that you may normally get if you try to get a personal credit card. So the reason why that is, business credit cards require more capital to run. So in turn, they receive a higher limit from the bank. Very simple concept to understand. Most businesses, if not all, are not profitable. No matter what business you look at, everyone had to start off with capital or borrow money in order to make money. For the most part, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, most businesses need capital in order to start. And that's why you start seeing all of these really cool offers for businesses that you won't see for personal. So if you have an idea for a business, maybe something you're doing now, and the only thing holding you back is you can't buy enough of something, or you just need the money to be able to get this, and then you could scale it up to here, then this is going to be the perfect solution for that problem, right? Because now you can leverage that capital to create more money, to of course pay that card back, take your profit, put it to the side, and raise your actual liquid assets, because now you're going to have that money back in cash, and then you could pay back the credit card. All right. The other benefit is earn rewards. So you can earn higher rewards and cash back for business expenses. So let's say that, for example, on the American Express Gold Card, there are categories that you can max out in that will give you 4% cash back that are business related. There are credit cards where if you were spending money on, let's say, advertising, maybe you do advertising on social media like Instagram, TikTok, something like that. There are credit cards that will give you 5 to 6% cash back up to $150,000. So if you were already spending a bunch of money on that, think about this. If you have $150,000 spent on just marketing because you were actually doing that, and maybe you were spending that in cash, let's just say, maybe, you would get back around at least $6,000 in cash back at the end of the year. You're going to get $6,000 back for money you were already going to spend. And see, this is the beauty of business credit cards. If you were already going to spend this money, you can then get business credit cards that match up with like you could get a business credit card for gas. You can get one for restaurants. You could get one for, so on and so forth, to where you get 6% for this one up to a certain amount, 5% for this one, 4% for this one. And next thing you're able to save $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a year for money it's free money. You could take that money, you could reinvest it. You could put it into like my savings video where I said, put that money into a high yield savings. It's going to get an extra 5% interest. You can literally make your money from money you were already going to spend, which they have personal credit cards that can do that too. But what I'm saying is that there are business credit cards that will give you a higher amount. And if you were already going to buy something like, let's say, inventory to pay for something, this is just going to give you that much more money back because you need to spend that money to make money. Now you're making money off the money you're going to spend anyway. It becomes a cycle of everything that you do is doing nothing but creating money for you to then go back and reinvest to make more money. It just becomes you start looking at everything like, how can I get money back from whatever it is that I'm about to do, whether it be buying a plane flight, taking a vacation, whatever the case is, you're going to be making money with every single dollar that you spend. And I think that is the most creative way that you can use business credit cards to also then save money and invest it, whether that be in a high yield savings account, whether that be to reinvest into your business or to inventory or to whatever whatever it is that you need to run your business, or whether that be putting it into ETFs and then getting paid dividend yields. That can be the money that you use to retire on. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at these business credit cards, and know that there are so many different ways that we can earn from these and we can make money. So I want to go over a couple more advantages. You can get 0% APR on a lot of cards. This is huge. I really want to note this. This is huge. There are personal credit cards that give you 0% APR. But again, remember, personal credit cards report to the personal credit bureaus. We don't want our credit score to be hurt because we're using our personal credit cards for business expenses. And you shouldn't be using personal credit cards for business expenses anyway. If you get 0% APR for, let's say, 18 months or 12 months, and you have a $25,000 limit, you can just pay the minimum payment on that $25,000. Now, my recommendation is to come up with a business plan, have an idea in mind, flush out the idea, rework it. And then if you're saying I'm going to spend $20,000, and in the next 18 months, this is my plan to pay it back, but this $20,000, I'm going to 4X it and turn it into $100,000. I have 18 months to do so, and I will simply split this $20,000 into 18 payments, and I will pay it every month. And you will start to recoup the cost every single month. If you recoup the cost in 12 months, awesome. You pay back your $20,000. You've made hopefully 4 or 5X. If you made 5X, that's $100,000. That's $100,000. You pay back $20,000. You've made $80,000 in profit. You couldn't have done that if you didn't have the capital to invest it before. But again, I'm talking about large numbers. So you have to understand that you need to have a plan in place to do this. You have to have a plan. I suggest that you start with using your own money. And if you could turn $100 into $1,000, and you could turn $1,000 into $10,000, and you do that with your own money and you feel comfortable, then I would think you can turn 20,000 into 40, 50,000. I believe you could do that if you were able to do it with your own money before. You have to build trust with yourself so you know what you can actually do. Don't rush into this. You can plan this properly. Because even I qualify for a bunch of 0% APR cards right now. I haven't gotten any. I'm saving those because I have a plan, but I know that I'm not prepared yet. So I'm going to wait and save until I feel very comfortable. Then I will grab those and I will proceed to do that. But I'm going to wait. We got to be patient. But again, almost every business isn't profitable from day one. Businesses know that. They'll give you these promo offers to help you get started. I think that is one of the biggest things that you could ever do. If you could get access to $100,000 and someone's going to tell you, you don't have to pay me back for the next year and a half. If you can come up with a plan to productively use that money to make profit, man, you got it. You got it. And that's the biggest, that's one of the greatest things about business credit cards and the advantages. Again, this won't hurt your personal credit. It won't report if you choose the right cards. And we can do research on that to make sure that we have the right card for you. And even if you didn't have a plan for this, just don't get a 0% APR card. Get a card with good rewards. And as you spend money that you're going to spend anyway, get rewards and put that money into a high yield savings and let it grow, or put it into the stock market or ETF or REITs and let it grow, or bonds, or just put it somewhere where the money can grow. Because that's the point. We want to make money to grow it so that it can start making money for us passively. Sign up bonuses. You get higher sign up bonuses. You can get, for example, I just recently got the Amex Gold. The Amex Gold has a sign-up bonus. I believe if you spend $10,000 in the first 90 days, they give you 120,000 points, which I think comes out to $1,200. So I know I'm going to spend $10,000 in 90 days. I just based off of how I spend now, I'm going to spend $10,000 in 90 days. I will then get that bonus, and I'm going to put it into either my high yield savings, or I'm going to put it, I'm going to purchase ETFs and put it into my portfolio. And I'm just going to take all the extra money that I make and just put it in either high yield savings or ETFs, either one. And that's the thing. I could use my high yield savings to buy property later, or I can use my ETFs to invest in dividends, and the compound interest will be what I probably will retire on. So it's just free money. They're giving you free money, and they have these very huge sign up bonuses that you may not see on personal credit cards. Now, of course, you have to spend that high amount, but the thing is, if you are a business owner and you're using them for business expenses, then this should be fairly easy. And even if you're not a business owner, if you have high bills and you can make this apply, you can do the math and see if that's something feasible for you. And there are other credit cards with lower sign up bonuses. Like you can spend less within like maybe 5 months, 3 months. You find the one that works best for you, and you find the one that works best for your situation. And then you look at how you can utilize this in order to save more money or reinvest more money or to grow your money. I think that that's one of the other great things. The last advantage I want to talk about is hard inquiry removals. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that we can remove hard inquiries. But what do I always say? Do not remove hard inquiries for accounts that you want to keep. Here's the great thing about business credit. These accounts, again, a majority of them, they don't report to your personal credit, which means we can apply for 2 credit cards, get 2 hard inquiries. We're going to go back, remove those hard inquiries, and then we can apply for more if we so choose, because they don't report. Removing them won't do anything. It won't affect us in any capacity. So you could get as many as you need. Now, I feel like when some people talk about credit card stacking, they just get the idea to stack these credit cards without a plan. I think that's the worst thing that you could possibly do. Do not stack these credit cards to get $1 million worth of credit that you're not going to be able to use it all because you don't have a plan for it. And then what's going to happen is, if you're not using it, there's no activity on it, the limit just is going to get shrunk, or they're going to close the account anyway because you're not using it actively. You need to get cards that make sense for your situation overall. They have to make sense for where you are in your life, and they have to make sense to do whatever it is that you need to do. So always have a plan in mind. Don't just get cards just to stack cards. That doesn't make sense. Get cards with a plan of what they're going to be used for and how they're going to benefit you. And always have a contingency plan in case anything bad happens and you have to fall back onto something else. Always have a contingency plan to get you out of any situation. Okay? So now that we talked about all the advantages of business credit cards, I want to go over some credit cards that I recommend. And the first one that I want to start with is the American Express Business Cash Card. And I'm going to recommend a total of 3 cards that I think you should have as your starter cards. And then at the end, I want to go through the application process with you so I can show you how you can apply for this as a sole proprietor. So even if you don't have a business where you made the legal distinction between yourself and the business, you'll understand that you don't have to get a business credit card. And this is going to be, again, the point of this video, the easiest way to get a business credit card. All right. So let's go ahead and go over to American Express, and we're going to take a look at more of what this card can offer for you. The American Express Blue Business Plus card. One thing I like about American Express more than any other company, when you apply for this card, they'll let you know whether you're approved or denied without taking a hard inquiry. So it doesn't hurt for you to apply. Does not hurt whatsoever. Now, this business credit card has a 0% annual fee. That's huge. They have some American Express cards. I believe the Platinum has a $695 annual fee. When you're first starting your business off, this may not be something good for you. So here's the welcome offer. You can earn 15,000 membership reward points, And you get that after spending $3,000 in purchases in 3 months. So if you had bills and things that you were going to pay anyway, and they come up to around $3,000 a month, you can do that in the first 3 months. And then you'll be able to get this nice offer, right? So that's pretty cool. I believe 15,000 points will equate to around $150 that you'll get. And again, if you were going to spend that money anyway, shouldn't even matter. This card also has 0% APR for the first 12 months from the date of account opening. All right. So for the first 12 months, you don't have to pay anything on this card, which I think is amazing. Well, not anything. I'm sorry. Excuse me. You have to pay the minimum payment. Let me correct myself. You have to pay the minimum payment on the card, but it doesn't require you to pay anything other than the minimum payment. You won't get any interest. I recommend you pay exactly what you need to pay unless you're making one big purchase and you plan on paying it off a little at a time for the next, 12 months. That's my recommendation. And whether you don't do that, you could just use the card normally and just ignore the 0% APR and just pay your card, as you would any other credit card. Now, you earn 2 points back on all purchases. So no matter how much money you spend, up to $50,000, you will earn 2%. Essentially, it's 2 points. Up to $50,000 per year, then it's 1%. So depending on what it is that you're doing, you can get 2% cash back. After that, it's 1%. This is much better than, if you were going to spend money anyway and you weren't going to get anything back, that's better than nothing, right? So I think that that's very, very enjoyable. And I think it's a really cool feature. And I'm just doing a little quick math here. If you were to put $50,000 on this card in a year, you would get $1,000 cash back. Also, your welcome bonus. So you would make $1,150 off of this card just by using it for all your purchases. In a year, you're going to make $1,150, right? And then you could put that money into either a high yield savings or somewhere where it'll grow, or reinvest it into inventory. It's up to you. And of course, American Express can be accepted at 99% of places in the U.S. that accept business credit cards. And then the buy above your credit limit with expanding buy power, this credit card has flexible spending limit. So you don't actually have a spending limit. It'll adjust based off of how much you're actually spending, which I think is also a really cool perk of the American Express cards. All right, the next card that we're looking at is the Business Unlimited Inc. Business Unlimited Credit Card by Chase. And then we're going to go into a lot of the benefits of this card as far as the rewards and why this is the second card I would recommend for a new business, a sole proprietor, anybody who is starting off with a new company. Why we recommend this card. All right, so this is the Inc. Business Unlimited Credit Card. As you can see, after you spend $6,000 in purchases, that's in the first 3 months, you can get back $750 for this card. So that would just be you spending $2,000 a month. So if you had things you had to pay for anyway, you can now get that. This card also has 0% intro APR. Like I said, a lot of these cards have that. So if you have a big business expense in mind, that may be a really, really useful thing for you. You also earn 1.5% cash back. That's unlimited. And you can redeem that for, any cash back or rewards. You also earn 5% cash back on Lyft rides. And you can earn that through the end of March 2025. So it looks like that's a promotion that'll be going on for about the next year. So if you travel a lot, if you take a lot of Lyft rides and man, I spend a lot on Lyft and, this type of purchase, this card might make perfect sense for you. It also gives you a couple things on ways to redeem travel and purchase like coverages and a couple of other things. So the main idea is that you want to get cards that don't have as many fees. Again, 0% APR is a great thing. $0 annual fee, great thing. Sign up bonus, check. These are all things that we want to look for when we're looking for a card, and also that we can get cash back for our purchases. So 1.5% cash back is pretty good. I would say as a standard, you would probably want to at least get 2% cash back. But 1.5% is good. And if you use those Lyft rides, if you do those extra things, 5% is actually very, very awesome. Yeah, that because it's an extra 3.5% that you would already earn on travel. So definitely look into this card if that's something that you do. And we're gonna get into our last card on our list. So the last card that I recommend for a new business and easy approval is going to be Inc. Business Cash Credit Card. And we're going to look at the rewards and the perks that you get with this card as well. For the Inc. Business Cash Credit Card, you can earn up to $750 bonus cash back. You earn $350 when you spend $3,000 on purchases in the first 3 months, and an additional $400 when you spend $6,000 on purchases in the first 6 months after account opening. That's pretty big. You earn a 10% business relationship bonus. So if you have a relationship with Chase, you get an extra 10% that you could get back. You can earn 5% cash back in select business categories, which you'll want to take a look at. Now, 5% cash back is on the first $25,000 spent in purchases at office supply stores and on internet, cable, and phone services, each account anniversary. So if you have your phone bill, your internet bill, and of course, if that is more than, if it's less than $25,000, you can now get 5% cash back when you make those transactions. You can also earn 2% cash back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases at gas stations and restaurants, each account anniversary year. You earn 1% cash back on all other purchases. So this one is really nice because you earn that 5%. Probably you'll find more use at office supply stores and internet, cable, and phone services. And you also get the 5% cash back on Lyft rides, and there's no annual fee. So as you can see, there's plenty of things that you could do for this, as well as 0% APR. That is really nice. So you guys definitely want to go check out these 3 cards. These are the 3 that I recommend for you starting up. And the last thing that we're going to do is take a look at the application process, just so you have an idea of what to expect when you're applying for these cards. So as you can see, very straightforward. Personal info, and then you can choose who are you. You're the owner. You put your first name, last name, date of birth, and as you can see here, they're going to ask for your social. So you can either do your tax ID or you can also do your social. And for business options, you can choose sole proprietor. So it lets you know again right here that they're going to just ask for your social. So you can actually do this as a sole prop. Sole prop means that you can enter. So tell us your full legal name for your business. In most cases, a sole proprietorship's legal name is its own personal legal name. So it's telling you right there, as a sole prop, you can just enter your actual name, and you don't have to enter a tax ID. You can just enter your social security number. A tax ID and EIN is essentially the social security number for your business. And as you guys know, I have plenty of videos on this. You can check out both of my business videos, how to start a business or structure it within 30 days, and then also the one about the net 30 vendors. And I'll continue to make more content on that in the next few weeks. But yeah, when you look at this business application, it looks like a personal application, with the exception of right here, just entering sole prop. So you would enter that, you'd enter your social, your number of employees would of course be 0 if you don't have any employees. You would enter your phone number, the date your business is established. I would just add the date where you started making money. So if you started making money 2 years ago, that's the date that I would put. If you started making money just this year, I would put this year and then your business revenue. I would just put how much money you make every year, because that would basically be the revenue of the business. And then you would choose the category, the type, and the subtype, and your estimated monthly spend. And then that's pretty much it. It's a very straightforward, easy application. And again, just from what you see here in the details, it's clearly encouraging sole proprietorship as well as all the other types of businesses. And you don't have to have a business legally established to get this credit card. You can really do this with just personal credit, right? But now you can reap the rewards of all the benefits. Now, for the American Express application, I believe you can do that one as a sole prop, but that one, I believe it does ask for an EIN number. I would have to double check that. But on those applications, you may have to change some options around. But if it does, again, you can do an LLC, you can do a corporation, you can do an S Corp, and you can personally guarantee it. Either way, you should be able to see the advantages of having a business credit card, as well as being able to understand why this would be the easiest way to do it, because you can literally, if your credit score is a 720, 720 or above, I would say, you can go ahead and apply for this card, as long as I would say you have maybe 2 or 3 hard inquiries and you haven't gotten new credit cards in maybe the last 6 months. I think that's a good data point to be at, like, right, all of those things. You can get this card today, and more than likely you'll be approved, and then you could start using those benefits for business purposes. And again, this won't report to your personal credit, so you'll be able to take advantage of that right now. If you guys have any questions for me, please let me know down in the comments. Please let me know if this was helpful to you. If you do apply for these cards and you get approved, let me know which ones that you were approved for. If you're in the midst of structuring your business and you got one of these cards with that, again, let me know. If it wasn't this credit card, let me know. What other content would you like to see as far as business credit goes? Is there a credit card you would like me to review? Is there a credit card you would like me to apply for in real time? Is there any other promotional offers that you want me to maybe go over? So, leave that in the comments. If you're new here, I'm very responsive. I'll try to respond to all the comments as fast as I possibly can. My other subscribers already know that I'm trying to be very good about that. And I do try to make sure that I make the videos that my subscribers ask for. I do try to give videos also that I think that you may need, even if you don't ask for it. So I try to give as much as I possibly can and as much information as I can provide. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. Everything is really, really great. I love this channel. I love this community. It's growing very quickly, and it's just become a resource for a lot of people. And I can definitely see that. Really, really good. I think we're doing amazing work out here. We're doing really good work. I mean, not just me, but everybody. So thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day.